Did you know that your heart may be quietly sending signals about how long you will live? Every day, thousands of seniors go about their lives completely unaware of the subtle messages their bodies are sending them. Last month, researchers at Johns Hopkins University made a remarkable discovery: a previously overlooked pattern in heart rhythm that strongly correlates with longevity in people over 65. This isn't about obvious issues like chest pain or shortness of breath. It is about something far more subtle that most doctors might miss during a routine checkup. The truth is, after we reach our 60s, our hearts undergo changes that can significantly impact our health without showing any obvious symptoms. And the most concerning part? Most people don't discover these silent signals until it's too late to take action. By the time symptoms appear, preventative measures are often less effective. In this video, we are going to explore 5 almost invisible heart signals that scientific research has linked to longevity. These subtle indicators aren't widely discussed, yet they could give you crucial insights about your heart health and potentially add years to your life. Some of these signs might surprise you, and others might explain changes you've already noticed, but didn't understand the significance of. Stay with me until the end, because the final signal we'll discuss is something that almost 70% of seniors experience but rarely connect to heart health. Yet recent studies suggest it could be one of the most reliable predictors of cardiovascular longevity. You'll also learn practical, science-backed strategies to improve each of these indicators, potentially extending your life expectancy and enhancing your quality of life. Don't miss the final insight. It's one that most people overlook, yet it holds incredible power in predicting what lies ahead. These markers could completely reshape how you see your future and add valuable years to your life. If this has sparked your interest, show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with those you care about. Together, let us make informed choices for a healthier, longer life. Now, let us dive into these critical heart signals that could reveal your longevity potential. Signal 1. Heart rate variability. The hidden rhythm of longevity. The first and perhaps most fascinating heart signal linked to longevity isn't about how fast your heart beats, but how it varies from beat to beat. This is called heart rate variability, or HRV, and it is something most people have never heard of. Yet scientists now believe it might be one of the strongest indicators of both heart health and overall longevity. When most people think about heart rate, they imagine a steady metronome-like rhythm. But a healthy heart doesn't actually beat with perfect regularity. It subtly speeds up and slows down with each breath you take. This natural variability is controlled by your autonomic nervous system, which regulates all your involuntary bodily functions. Higher variability generally indicates a heart that can adapt quickly to changing circumstances, whether that's climbing stairs, responding to stress, or recovering from illness. Think about Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher who's been active all her life. During her annual physical, her doctor noticed something interesting. Even though her average heart rate was normal at 68 beats per minute, the time between her heartbeats showed healthy fluctuations. Her heart naturally sped up slightly when she inhaled and slowed down when she exhaled, a sign of excellent autonomic nervous system function. Despite her age, Margaret's cardiovascular system displayed the adaptability of someone much younger. Contrast this with Robert, also 72, who had a similar average heart rate but almost no variability between beats. His heart maintained an unnaturally steady rhythm regardless of his breathing or activity. What Robert didn't realize was that this rigid pattern indicated his autonomic nervous system was under stress and less able to adapt to changes, a condition associated with increased risk of heart problems and shorter lifespan. What's fascinating is that reduced HRV often appears years before any other heart symptoms develop. It's like an early warning system that something might be amiss with your heart's ability to adapt and respond. Even more interesting, research from the University of California found that people with higher HRV tend to live an average of 4 to 7 years longer than those with lower variability, regardless of other health factors. So how can you improve your heart rate variability? The good news is that several evidence-based strategies can help. First, regular cardiovascular exercise has been shown to significantly improve HRV. Even gentle activities like brisk walking for 30 minutes daily can make a difference. The key is consistency rather than intensity. Second, practicing slow, deep breathing exercises for just 5 to 10 minutes daily can dramatically impact your HRV. Inhaling slowly for 4 seconds and exhaling for 6 seconds helps train your autonomic nervous system to become more flexible. Third, reducing chronic stress through activities like meditation, yoga, or simply spending time in nature can improve your HRV over time. Your heart rhythm is intimately connected to your stress levels, and managing stress effectively can have profound effects on this important measure of heart health. Lastly, improving sleep quality has been shown to enhance HRV. Creating a consistent sleep schedule and a restful bedroom environment can help your heart recover and reset during the night. While measuring HRV used to require specialized medical equipment, today several wearable devices and smartphone apps can track this valuable metric. Consider talking to your healthcare provider about monitoring your HRV, especially if you are over 65 or have existing heart concerns. If you are still watching and finding this information valuable, please comment HRV on below to let me know you are here with us. Your engagement helps our community grow. Now let us continue to our second heart signal. Signal 2, resting heart rate recovery, the bounce back factor. The second subtle heart signal that may reveal your longevity is how quickly your heart rate returns to normal after physical exertion. This is called heart rate recovery, and while it seems simple, it is a powerful indicator of cardiovascular health and overall mortality risk. A healthy heart efficiently pumps blood when needed during activity, but equally important is how quickly it can recover once that demand decreases. Think of it like a car engine. It is not just about how well it accelerates, but also how smoothly it can idle down when you're done driving. Consider Thomas, a 68-year-old who takes a daily walk around his neighborhood. After climbing a small hill, he stops to chat with a neighbor. Within a minute, his heart rate has dropped by about 20 beats per minute from its peak during the climb. This rapid recovery suggests his heart is functioning efficiently, and his parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, is engaging properly. Now think about Elaine, who is 65 and takes a similar walk. When she stops after climbing the same hill, her heart continues to race for several minutes. After 1 minute of rest, her heart rate has only decreased by 7 beats per minute. What Elaine doesn't realize is that this slower recovery may be a warning sign. Research shows that people whose heart rates decrease by fewer than 12 beats in the first minute after exercise have up to 4 times higher risk of dying within the next 6 years. What makes heart rate recovery such a valuable signal is that it can decline years before other more obvious symptoms appear. Your heart might be struggling to recover efficiently long before you notice any chest pain, shortness of breath, or fatigue. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed over 2,400 adults for 6 years and found that a poor heart rate recovery was a stronger predictor of mortality than many traditional risk factors, including high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and even smoking. Yet most people never think to measure this simple but revealing metric. So how can you improve your heart rate recovery? Several evidence-based approaches can help. First and foremost, regular cardiovascular exercise progressively challenges your heart and teaches it to recover more efficiently. Start with walking and gradually increase intensity as your fitness improves. Second, interval training, alternating between periods of higher and lower intensity exercise, has been shown to be particularly effective at improving heart rate recovery. Even for seniors, modified intervals appropriate to your fitness level can yield significant benefits. Third, staying well hydrated supports efficient heart function and recovery. Dehydration makes your heart work harder and can impair its ability to return to resting rate. Fourth, certain nutrients like magnesium and potassium play important roles in heart function. Eating a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains helps ensure adequate levels of these essential minerals. You can easily monitor your own heart rate recovery at home. After moderate exercise like brisk walking, check your pulse at your wrist or neck. Immediately when you stop, count for 15 seconds and multiply by 4. Then check again after resting for exactly 1 minute. The difference is your 1-minute heart rate recovery. Ideally, it should decrease by at least 12 beats, with higher values generally indicating better cardiovascular health. If you are still with me and finding this information helpful, please comment "recovery" below. Your engagement really helps our community, and I appreciate you taking the time to learn about these critical health signals. Now, let us move on to our third heart signal. Signal 3. Blood pressure fluctuations. The rhythm of pressure. Our third heart signal isn't a T about a single blood pressure reading, but rather how your blood pressure changes throughout the day and night. These natural fluctuations, often overlooked in routine medical visits, can provide crucial insights into your cardiovascular health and longevity potential. Most people know that blood pressure should ideally stay below 120/80 mmHg, but few realize that healthy blood pressure naturally follows a rhythm. It should be highest during the day when you're reactive and drop by 10–20% during sleep, a pattern doctors call dipping. I see. This nighttime dipping allows your cardiovascular system to rest and recover. Consider James, a 73-year-old who maintains a healthy diet and takes a blood pressure medication each morning. His daytime readings typically hover around 125/78 mmHg, slightly elevated but not concerning to his doctor. However, when James participated in a 24-hour blood pressure monitoring study, his nighttime readings showed something interesting. They dropped to around 110/65 mmHg during sleep, a healthy 12% reduction. This normal dipping pattern suggested his cardiovascular system was functioning well despite his age. By contrast, Patricia, age 70, had similar daytime readings around 128/76 mmHg, but her overnight monitoring revealed her blood pressure barely decreased during sleep, staying at about 124/74 mmHg all night. What Patricia did not realize was that this non-dipping pattern was placing constant stress on her heart and blood vessels, even while she slept. Research shows that people with non-dipping blood pressure have up to 3 times higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, and heart failure, even when their daytime readings seem acceptable. Even more concerning are reverse dippers, people whose blood pressure actually rises during sleep instead of falling. This pattern is associated with the highest cardiovascular risk of all and often occurs years before more obvious symptoms develop. What makes blood pressure fluctuations particularly valuable as a longevity signal is that abnormal patterns often appear 5 to 10 years before major cardiovascular events occur. It is like getting a decade-ish advance warning that something might be going wrong. So how can you improve your blood pressure fluctuation patterns? Several evidence-based strategies can help. First, timing your blood pressure medications properly can support healthy dipping patterns. Some people benefit from taking certain medications in the evening rather than morning to better control nighttime blood pressure. Always consult your doctor before changing your medication schedule. Second, limiting salt intake in the evening can help promote healthier nighttime blood pressure. Try to consume most of your daily sodium earlier in the day. Third, establishing consistent sleep and wake times helps regulate your body's natural rhythms, including blood pressure fluctuations. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Fourth, avoiding alcohol close to bedtime can improve blood pressure dipping. While a small amount of alcohol might help you fall asleep initially, it often disrupts sleep quality and blood pressure patterns later in the night. Lastly, consider gentle evening exercise like walking after dinner or gentle yoga, which has been shown to promote healthier nighttime blood pressure patterns. Vigorous exercise should be avoided close to bedtime as it can temporarily raise blood pressure. While home blood pressure monitors are valuable tools, they can track your overnight patterns. If you are concerned about this aspect of your heart health, talk to your doctor about ambulatory blood pressure monitoring, a test that measures your blood pressure throughout a 24-hour period and can identify whether you have healthy dipping patterns. If you are still watching and finding this information valuable, please comment "pressure" below to let me know you re-engaged. Now let us move to our fourth heart signal. Signal 4, arterial stiffness, the flexibility factor. The fourth heart signal that can reveal your longevity isn't about the heart itself, but rather the highways that carry your blood, your arteries. As we age, our arteries naturally become stiffer and less flexible. but the rate at which this happens varies dramatically between individuals and can significantly impact lifespan. Healthy arteries are elastic. They expand when your heart pumps blood and then recoil to help maintain pressure between beats. This elasticity reduces strain on your heart and ensures smooth, efficient blood flow throughout your body. But over time, factors like inflammation, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and oxidative stress can cause arteries to lose this vital flexibility. Meet David, a 77-year-old retired engineer who has maintained an active lifestyle and Mediterranean diet for decades. During a comprehensive cardiovascular checkup, his doctor performed a test called pulse wave velocity, which measures how quickly pressure waves move through the arteries. David's results showed his arteries had the flexibility of someone about 15 years younger. They could still expand and contract efficiently with each heartbeat, reducing strain on his heart. Contrast this with Harold, age 75, who has led a more sedentary lifestyle with a typical American diet. His pulse wave velocity test revealed significantly stiffer arteries than expected for his age. What Harold didn't realize was that this stiffness was forcing his heart to work much harder with each beat, gradually wearing it down and potentially shortening his life expectancy. Despite having normal blood pressure readings at rest, his stiff arteries were placing hidden stress on his cardiovascular system. What's particularly valuable about arterial stiffness as a longevity signal is that it often begins increasing years or even decades before other cardiovascular problems become apparent. Research from the Framingham Heart Study found that increased arterial stiffness can predict cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes up to 7 to 10 years before they occur, making it one of our earliest warning systems for heart health. So what can you do to maintain or improve arterial flexibility? Several evidence-based approaches can help. First, regular aerobic exercise has been shown to significantly improve arterial flexibility, even in people who have already developed some stiffness. Activities like swimming, cycling, or brisk walking for 30-40 minutes most days of the week can make a substantial difference. Second, certain dietary components appear particularly beneficial for arterial health. Foods rich in polyphenols, like berries, dark chocolate, and green tea, and omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, have been shown to help maintain arterial flexibility. Third, managing blood sugar levels is crucial for arterial health. Even modestly elevated blood sugar can accelerate arterial stiffening through a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins in your artery walls and make them less flexible. Fourth, certain supplements have shown promise in research studies. Vitamin K2 helps prevent calcium from building up in artery walls, and compounds like grapeseed extract contain antioxidants that may help maintain arterial elasticity. Lastly, stress management practices like meditation, deep breathing, and good sleep hygiene are important, as chronic stress triggers inflammation and oxidative stress that can accelerate arterial stiffening. While arterial stiffness was once only measurable in specialized research labs, many cardiologists now offer tests like pulse wave velocity or augmentation index that can assess this important aspect of cardiovascular health. Consider asking your doctor about these tests, especially if you have risk factors for heart disease. If you are still watching and finding this information valuable, please comment "arteries" below to let me know you here with us. Your engagement helps our community grow. Now let's move to our fifth and final heart signal. Signal 5. Heart rate turbulence. The resilience indicator. We had now reached our fifth and perhaps most overlooked heart signal that can reveal your longevity potential. A phenomenon called heart rate turbulence. This subtle pattern, which almost 70% of seniors experience to some degree but rarely connect to heart health, has emerged in recent research as one of the most powerful predictors of cardiovascular longevity. Heart rate turbulence refers to how efficiently your heart responds to premature beats, those occasionally skipped or extra heartbeats that most people experience from time to time. In a healthy heart, these premature beats trigger a characteristic response, a brief acceleration followed by a gentle slowing of the heart rate as the cardiovascular system automatically stabilizes itself. Consider Eleanor, an active 81-year-old who occasionally notices her heart flip-flops or seems to skip a beat, especially when she's tired or stressed. During a specialized heart monitor test, Her cardiologist observed something remarkable. After each premature beat, Eleanor's heart showed a textbook-perfect turbulence response, quickly adjusting and stabilizing its rhythm. This indicated her cardiovascular regulatory system was still functioning with the resilience of someone much younger. By contrast, Walter, age 76, experienced similar occasional premature beats, but rarely noticed them. However, his heart monitor revealed something concerning. After these premature beats, his heart showed almost no turbulence response. It neither accelerated nor decelerated appropriately to compensate for the disruption. What Walter didn't realize was that this absent turbulence response was a sign his cardiac regulatory system was compromised, even though he had no obvious symptoms of heart disease. What makes heart rate turbulence such a valuable indicator is its strong correlation with survival. A landmark study published in The Lancet followed over 1,400 patients after heart attacks and found that abnormal heart rate turbulence was the strongest predictor of mortality, stronger than age, ejection fraction, how efficiently the heart pumps, or even the presence of arrhythmias. Yet most people, and even many doctors, rarely assess this critical measure of cardiac health. Even more remarkable, research from the University of Rochester found that heart rate turbulence can identify high-risk individuals up to 5 to 8 years before they develop serious cardiac problems. It acts like an early warning system built into your heart that few people know how to monitor. So how can you improve your heart rate turbulence? Though more research is needed, several approaches show promise. First, regular physical activity appears to improve heart rate turbulence patterns. A study from the European Heart Journal found that moderate aerobic exercise, 3 to 4 times weekly for 12 weeks, significantly enhanced turbulence responses, even in people with existing heart conditions. Second, maintaining optimal autonomic nervous system function is crucial, as this system controls your heart as response to premature beats. Practices that strengthen the parasympathetic, rest and digest system, such as deep breathing exercises, meditation, and adequate sleep, may help improve turbulence responses. Third, certain nutrients appear particularly important for maintaining healthy electrical signaling in the heart. Magnesium, potassium, and omega-3 fatty acids all play roles in cardiac electrical stability and may support better turbulence patterns. Fourth, managing stress levels is vital, as chronic stress can disrupt the autonomic nervous system and impair heart rate turbulence. Finding effective stress management techniques that work for you, whether that's walking in nature, listening to music, or spending time with loved ones, can help maintain this important aspect of heart health. While heart rate turbulence isn't typically measured during routine checkups, specialized heart rhythm monitoring can assess this important parameter. If you have risk factors for heart disease or occasionally experience irregular heartbeats, consider asking your cardiologist about evaluating your heart rate turbulence. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment "turbulence" below to let me know you are re-engaged. Your participation means a lot to our community. As we reach the end of our exploration of these 5 subtle heart signals, take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Heart rate variability, heart rate recovery, blood pressure fluctuations, arterial stiffness, and heart rate turbulence. These might not be metrics your doctor typically discusses during a standard checkup, but research increasingly shows they may be among the most powerful indicators of your heart health and longevity potential. What makes these signals particularly valuable is that they often change years or even decades before more obvious symptoms develop. They read like early warning systems, giving you the opportunity to take action while there is still time to make meaningful improvements. The good news is that despite their sophisticated nature, most of these heart signals respond well to the same core lifestyle practices: regular physical activity, stress management, quality sleep, and heart-healthy nutrition. These fundamental habits don't just add years to your life. They add life to your years by supporting the efficient, resilient function of your cardiovascular system. Remember Margaret, whose heart rate variability remained youthful despite her 72 years? Or David, whose arteries maintained the flexibility of someone 15 years younger? These aren't anomalies or lucky genetic outliers. They represent what is possible when we understand and nurture these critical aspects of heart health. If you recognized yourself in any of the less optimal examples, like Robert S. rigid heart rhythm, Elaine S. slow recovery, Patricia S. non-dipping blood pressure, Harold S. stiff arteries, or Walter S. poor turbulence response, don't be discouraged. These patterns can improve with the right approach, often more quickly than you might expect. Consider discussing these metrics with your healthcare provider at your next visit. While not all doctors routinely assess these parameters, many cardiologists and specialized clinics now offer more comprehensive heart evaluations that look beyond the basics of blood pressure and cholesterol. Remember, your heart beats about 100,000 times every day. It is working constantly on your behalf. By paying attention to these subtle signals and taking steps to support your cardiovascular health, you are making an investment not just in longevity, but in the quality of each day you live. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of these fascinating heart signals. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these indicators surprised you the most? Have you noticed any changes in your own heart health as you've gotten older? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts and experiences. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit from this information, and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based health insights. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires. Until next time, keep listening to the subtle signals your heart is sending. They just might be the key to a longer, healthier life.